Genshin Impact had their live stream last night. Pretty much, if I remember correctly, it was right at 12 a.m. So right at the beginning of the day, technically. And it was I think it was 2 hours long. 2 hours of just nothing but yapping. And don't get me wrong, they shared a lot of information. There was going to be a lot of info to cover. But it was just a lot of yapping while getting through this information. So if you can hit that like and subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it. So, first half of this video is going to be reacting to these trailers. And the second half of this video is going to be breaking down all the info that got dumped on us when it comes to improvements and optimizations to the game of Genshin Impact. We are going to have a lot to break down and talk about it. So definitely get your whatever you want to drink, get your popcorn or your snacks, because here we go. So first off, we're going to check out the Flowers Resplendent on the Sun-Scorched Sojourn trailer.
We've arrived at the final phase. The winner of this match will take the final spot among the victors. Give it up for a long-time contender and first-time finalist.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar.
So why is it that anything can happen there? What makes Natlan so crazy and insane that anything can happen?
And also foreign.
The pilgrimage is not merely a trial to determine the strongest among us, but also a stage upon which to showcase your individual growth.
The purpose of the pilgrimage is not only to select strong warriors, but also to collect contending fire from the battles. Natlan is only safe from the invasion of the Abyss, while the sacred flame burns eternal.
It seems like these characters, right off the bat, have some insane movement. You got Shark Girl, who's got this little shark she can ride and glide on water with. That's cool. Kachina has her little drill vehicle. That's neat. And then Dendro Dude has just some insane, like, mid-air maneuverability that is just really sick. But the thing is I, like, even though I'm really interested in Dendro Dude's mid-air mobility, it looks really cool. But I am just not interested at all in, like, how his animations look. I'm just not interested in the 8-bit animation. It's like, I want the character for his gameplay, but I'm just not interested in his animations.
Guess I'll have to wait until the next pilgrimage. I'm still not sure why Arwayab chose me of all people.
It took the combined efforts of the then Pyro Archon and heroes from every tribe to finally repel the Abyss. Even so, the effects of the invasion lingered for hundreds.
Like, this right here is what I wish they showed in their, like, first teaser, was all these, like, creatures, because it kind of helps give a vibe of not just this, like, the setting when it comes to landscape, but also the setting when it comes to, like, seeing these creatures. When you see these creatures, you think prehistoric because they look like dinosaurs, but it helps add to what to expect. When you see these dinosaurs, you expect a setting now of more that feels more primal. Something of that sort that just adds to the danger of what to expect when in Natlan.
Of years, only able to be reversed little by little.
Our current Archon achieved an overwhelming victory. The result was obvious from the beginning. I really want to win this time and become a true warrior.
Through our long history of fighting the Abyss, we've realized things aren't quite so simple. The Abyss has invaded the Night Kingdom, and has the capacity to read the memories of this land at any given moment.
Going there.
The Night Kingdom? Only those who triumph over the Abyss earn the right to be revived. Defeat not only means death, but also the destruction of your ancient name, preventing it from ever being inherited again.
You heard something from here, didn't you?
Kinich, what is the meaning of this?
Only one way to awaken you all from your willful blindness. More sacrifices must be made.
You'll die if you try to make your way forward. Why don't you just give up?
You want to know why I won't give up?
Pyro.
I should have died 5 years ago.
Take me as your next sacrifice!
Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back.
Okay.
No! Why can't I find him? Why?
So, it's not that they're in, like, total conflict with the Fatui, even though the Fatui Harbinger's there in El Capitino. But it seems like they're on the edge of conflict with the Abyss, since they've mentioned that, like, the Abyss is just pretty much at any point ready to just, like, take over or something of that sort. So that is interesting.
Every great display of power comes at a price. We'll never make it!
That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand nothing of all-encompassing power.
We shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending doom.
What use is the Gnosis in your hands?
Damn.
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan.
People like us? Let our flames do the talking!
Now that's going to be sick to watch. That is going to be sick to watch. See a whole El Capitino versus Fire Archon chick. That will be badass. So that's that trailer. It definitely shows a lot of what's to expect in the story, which is really good. I wanted to see more of kind of what to expect in the story. The Capitino fight versus Mavrika fight is that's going to probably be really sick to watch. And I'm interested to see what the whole dynamic is between Natlan and the Abyss, since that's going to be the focus of the story. I really want to see more of the Abyss lore, because that is pretty much one of the main, besides the Fatui Harbingers, that's one of the other main driving forces of the narrative of the story. So I want to see more of the Abyss. So with that being said, now we're going to watch the events trailer to see what to expect when we jump into the Natlan update. Alright, traces of artistry. Is this just going to be collecting shit? Okay, this is just our introductory event where we just like check out stuff of Natlan. Oh, that's an enemy. That's an interesting enemy. Minigame of thorns and crowns. There, I guess this is a combat. Yeah, it looks like a combat event. That's okay. That's cool. Picture taking event. This is gonna be very mid. Yep, very mid. Very, very mid. Dodoko's Boombastic Escapades. Alright, just bullshit minigame. Timeline Overflow. Kid for New Horizons. Brilliant Daily Login. Okay, we got new artifacts, new weapons. Okay. Alright. Hold on. I want that last few things looked important. Alright, so invite a 4-star character of your choice. This is the standard, this is the free 5-star standard wish character that you can get for free. This is something that they are going to be adding. I'll go over here a little bit in more detail in just a bit. These are going to be our new artifacts. I wish they could show us some more descriptions on what they do, but unfortunately we do not. 2 5-star weapons, obviously matching the characters that they're meant for. And then these are probably our craftable weapons since they're 4 stars. Chainbreaker, Ring of Yashe, Earthshaker, Footprint of the Rainbow, and Flute of Espizol. Espizol. I think that's how you say that. They look sick. I like the design of them. They look pretty sick. We have a total of 15 notable improvements and optimizations coming to Genshin Impact in 5.0. And these are some pretty big changes. Now, I first off want to state that these are all good changes. These are all good. And I'm happy that these changes are coming to Genshin Impact. But as I go through this list, you're going to notice a theme. Not with all of them. Some of them are really good. But there will be a noticeable theme as I cover these optimizations and these improvements. First off, the big one. We're going to be able to invite a 5-star character of our choice from the standard Wish Wanderlust invocation for the anniversary celebration. And this will be a theme, they said, going forward every anniversary, that we'll be able to add for free one of these standard 5-star characters. This is cool, and this is good. It's a free 5-star. But there is going to be a noticeable difference in how this is received perceptionally with new players versus veteran players like myself. More likely you watching. For new players, this is great because this is a great onboarding system for anyone jumping into the game. They can pick a 5-star character of their choice, and that will be a 5-star character they can roam around with right from the beginning of the game. So for new players, this is going to be great. But for veteran players, this is like an extreme case of too little too late. For us veteran players that have been playing since day one, if not roughly in the first year of Genshin Impact, hell, you could have jumped in probably in the second year or even the third year of Genshin Impact, and you will more than likely have all, if not all of these, like if not most of these 5-star characters. And if you've been playing this game since day one like I have, you not only have all these 5-star characters, but you have all these 5-star characters plus more than likely a handful of their constellations too. This is great for new players, but mid, if not useless for veteran players. But there is one caveat the devs added when they were talking about this whole change coming to Genshin Impact, which is that they do plan to add more 5-star characters to the standard banner. So next year, if they're true to their word, there will be probably 1 or 2 other characters that we're going to be able to pick from this roster of 5-star standard characters.
So if they add new characters to the standard banner, this might be an interesting thing going forward, like in the future.
I do not think that they're going to add like newer characters. I think Dia was like one of the very rare exceptions, kind of Tignari too. But I think this is going to be a place where they're going to throw older characters that
have kind of lost their viability in the game, like let's say
Albedo or Eula. I see those characters maybe hitting this standard banner over potential newer characters. But now let's go into number 2. Anniversary benefits events. a login event where we're all going to obtain 10 intertwined fates. We're going to get primo gems that are going to add up to a 10 pull, an elixir, 2 fragile resin, 1 fire sprite, and whatever a kaboom box is. And then on top of that, the traditional top-up bonus reset. So this is pretty standard, but then we're going to get into a whole new mechanic that's going to be added to the wishing system. A new mechanic called Capturing Radiance. So as you can see here, when the dude goes to wish on the banner, you'll notice that, bam, you saw that quick, weird anomaly happen to the wish. Boom, glows gold, and then does that weird flash of purple showing the intertwined fate just before it starts falling and popping up the character that whatever it is that you're wishing for. That is called Capturing Radiance. So it's basically RNG on top of RNG. So what happens is that when you do your wish and you're fighting the 50-50, this only occurs when you're fighting the 50-50, but you have another chance of RNG occurring, is that in that moment you were pulling on a 50-50 and you hit that 5-star. You got the 5-star, and then the animation starts. You're fighting a 50-50. Well, there is a chance of something called Capturing Radiance to occur, which if you get lucky and you pop Capturing Radiance, it shifts that 50-50 to a 55-45, 55 favoring you, the player, getting what you want. So that's pretty much it. That is Capturing Radiance. It's just tipping the scales a little bit in your favor to getting the event 5-star. So this is good. This is pretty good. This is a good change. This is one of those changes I can't argue. This is, I mean, objectively an improvement. And so for improvement 4, it's reducing the maximum amount of fate points for the epitomized fate. So instead of having to lose 50-50 2 times, you now just have to do what every other weapon banner system does other than Wuthering Waves, and only lose 50-50 once to be able to guarantee yourself the weapon that you want. That should be how it should have been from the start, but oh well. I mean, it is how it is. This is one of those, yeah, this is good, but it should have never been like this. So in 5.0, we're going to be able to do quite a few things with artifacts. First off, we can dismantle the artifacts into XP material, the jars that give you XP. And then on top of that, we're going to be able to use a material called Sanctifying Elixir that basically allows us to do what a system in Star Rail is, which is not basically be able to zero in on not only the main stat of an artifact, but 2 minor stats on an artifact. So this is actually a really good change. The same system from Star Rail, but slightly better, because you can also zero in on 2 smaller stats. So overall, a really good change and a way to innovate on something that they've already done in another game, like I said, with Star Rail. And then we're going to go ahead and also cover 10 down here as well, because they do have plans to improve the Battle Pass by taking away some material in the Battle Pass that's useless and putting in stuff that's more prevalent in the game now, like the elixirs that help give us artifact XP, being able to choose what mats, like the new mats coming in Natlan, rather than it just randomly throwing mats at us, and it could be mats that we don't even need anymore due to the fact that these are characters from regions that we more than likely have already built. Good Battle Pass changes just to give us more
choice on what we get from the battle pass. So 10 is an improvement. Kind of, I wouldn't necessarily throw it in the a little too late, because optimization for something you spend money on is always a good thing, because it just gives the player more bang for their buck. And so to jump back into order with 6, complete the version 5.0 Natlan Archon quest within the designated duration to obtain 500 Primo Gems. Interesting. 7, by making offerings to the statues of the Seven and the Tablet of Tona in Natlan, as well as by opening Shrines of Devs, you will obtain more Primo Gem rewards than in previous regions, with it totaling up to a 10 pull. So basically making Natlan, when it comes to the big stuff that we explore, more rewarding. 8, after the version 5.0 update, complete the Tribal Chronicles / story quest of characters within the designated duration to obtain bonus rewards such as Primo Gems and corresponding character level up materials. So just trying to make this stuff more rewarding, but kind of putting in a time frame, kind of like with the whole story quest as well. After the version 5.0, if you have yet to reach your stamina cap, you can increase your stamina limit by making an offering to the Statue of the Seven in any region. This is just mostly an improvement for newer players. That way they don't have to just focus in on Mondstadt and Liyue first. But I'd kind of argue that you should, just because those two quests are the introduction to the game as a whole. So I guess if you're wanting to just kind of continue to explore, besides just beating everything there is to do with Mondstadt and Liyue first, that could be helpful, but oh well, whatever. We already did 10. This is another big one. World level 9 is now available. After unlocking world level 9, the drop rates for normal opponents, elite opponents, and bosses in the open world will be increased. And this actually corresponds with 13 as well. The drop rates for materials of a specific opponents will be increased. So already they're going to be buffing the drop rates for materials in 5.0. This stacks with the addition of world level 9. This is a big change, not only to help newer players with the base increase, but this also helps veteran players because it stacks with the addition of world level 9. So this is a huge improvement, and it actually is really great for veteran players, just because now the world is just getting a bit more challenging. So this is actually kind of adding more interest for someone like myself who just wants things to at least fight back a little bit. Number 12, there will now be a tracking function for regional specialties. You'll be able to quickly locate regional specialties and gather them with more ease. This is specifically talking about, like, let's say, like in this clip, regional flowers. You'll be able to go to your menu, track whatever flower or material that you're looking for, and it will literally pop up on the map, as you can see here with this flower here. It's just now popping up where the flower is near you, so you can more quickly go find whatever it is that you want when you're trying to, like, level up weapons or level up characters or so on and so forth. Number 14, the Stellar Reunion system has been improved to be a little bit more rewarding, and they're also adding a bump to the Stellar Reunion if it's been a long time, like more than 2 weeks since you've played, that it can add up to a total of a 10 pull. And then lastly, Archon quests in Natlan now support Quick Start. Once you complete certain Archon quests in Liyue and reach Adventure Rank 28, you can now use Quick Start on the event interface to experience Natlan's Archon quest. So if you finish Liyue, whatever, I'm assuming the main Liyue Archon quest, you will be able to immediately jump into Natlan's Archon quest if you so choose. But overall, really good. I mean, everything here is good, but some of this stuff just comes off as just too little too late. This one being the biggest one. Everything else is like, wow, you have finally made the game rewarding. That's great. Why didn't you do this years ago? Hey, that's great that you're adding this artifact thing that helps us kind of mitigate RNG, allowing us to kind of have choice. Star Rail had that roughly after two updates. Yeah, I think it was 2 updates into Star Rail that they added that system. Now, don't get me wrong, Genshin added the system and they actually made it a little bit better than Star Rail's. That's great, but this could have been something they could have already been working on a long time ago. And Genshin is now finally getting their, I mean, to their credit, they're finally getting their act together, and they're finally adding improvements and optimizations that they should have done a long time ago. And that's the big thing. This is great. No one's arguing that this is not great. But what we're arguing is, why did it take you guys having now competition to finally add these optimizations to improve the game? And this just kind of highlights more so what Genshin chose when they first came into the scene. When Genshin came out nearly 4 years ago, they had 2 choices. The first choice, which was to be a pioneer, to revolutionize the gacha game genre, and to some extent they did. I mean, let's not dance around it. They did revolutionize the gacha game market, but they could have continued to be a pioneer in the gacha game space, or they could have chose to be complacent and just ride on the success of their successful launch. And they chose the latter. They chose to become complacent and ride on the success of their launch until until everyone just grew apathetic and numb to the fact that, yes, you guys became complacent. You guys chose not to continue pioneering the gacha game space. It took the Star Rail team to continue to revolutionize what systems could be in a gacha game, or just an RPG game in general. It took Wuthering Waves coming into the space to be literally a direct competitor to their game before they started adding new endgame that we've been begging for over 2 years. Hell, even I could say from day one, we've been begging for new endgame other than Spiral Abyss. These improvements, these optimizations, to make artifact grinding better, to at least get a free 5-star. And now we're finally getting one after 4 years when we all already have these characters. Like I said, this is great for new players, but for veteran players, this is just like, okay, great. I'm either getting my final constellation to one of these characters, or I'm getting Star Glitter added to my cashback system. And I'm excited for Natlan. I am actually legitimately excited for Natlan. I'm wanting to jump back in Genshin Impact and check out the new region, check out how well these new systems feel being added to the game. I'm really interested in seeing how the enemies feel with World Level 9, and just seeing at the end, seeing if there's a noticeable improvement to the challenge of the world now with World Level 9. And we'll see if this capturing Radiance here makes any bit of difference when it comes to fighting 50/50s. I would be very interested to see how often I see this pop up. But overall, that's everything with Genshin and Natlan. Head down to the comments down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking of Natlan. Let me know if you guys are excited for these improvements and optimizations. Does this look really good to you? Does this feel like too little too late? I'm interested to see what you guys are thinking about all this stuff. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hitting that like button helps get the video out there. Hitting that subscribe button helps us grow a community over here, helps us grow the channel. So if you can hit that like and subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys later.